All right. Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm gonna do just a quick little thing, quick little podcast here. Talk about some recent gaming news, um, and then gonna enjoy the rest of our Friday. So hopefully that sounds good to everybody, and you come and join. Or if you watch later today, that's also perfectly fine. Uh, just making sure everything good here. All right, cool. All right, yeah. So, man, this is why in the current gaming landscape, you kind of can't talk shit anymore because every time you do, these companies are gonna do something that just shuts you up. But there's a bigger issue here. Yo, what up? What up, Ray? Thanks for stopping by, my brother. Yeah, but there's a bigger issue here going on because we're not only going to talk about this price increase, which was always going to happen. Hopefully, I'm loud and clear. Yeah, this was a price increase that was always going to happen. It's just that in typical Sony fashion, right? They let Xbox get all the hate. They let everybody just pretend that Xbox was the only one doing it, and then Sony follows through, does it, jack up the price. I mean, the PlayStation 5 Pro is now $900, not including tax, right? And depending on every state has income tax. So, uh, oh, yo, what's up, Rain? It's showing the ads and not their username no more. Yo, Game Pass is absolutely on fire. Stranger Than Heaven and Hades 2 on Game Pass day one. Yeah, yo, Ren, I'm going to talk about the preview program today as well. So don't worry, man. I'm going to talk about that as well. All right, because I give that show the preview pro. I'm sorry, the preview partner preview showcase. That was a pretty good show, but we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Let's talk about the big news here, though. They bash Xbox with price increase, but when Sony and Nintendo does it, it's okay. Yeah, man, they need to keep that same energy. Doom Slayer said, "I guarantee you, Sony ponies are going to try to defend it." Oh, definitely. I think the first defense they're going to do is say things like, "Oh, I already have one, so this don't affect me." Even though those same people are the masters of fake concern when it comes to everything, like literally everything Xbox does. Right. By the way, and to say, Xbox gives us a preview program, a showcase yesterday, and Sony gives these guys a price increase. You can't make this shit up. All right, but let's jump into it, man. Let's jump into it. Let's have some fun today on this one. All right, so this is the official PlayStation blog, right? And this is the beauty of not being somebody who just jumped on every single rumor. Wait until things are official, because now the truth is here. Now this is the unlimited truth straight from Sony's mouth. With continued pressure in the global economic landscape, we've made a decision to increase the prices of PlayStation 5 Pro, Portal, Remote Play player. By the way, a fucking remote play device that's getting a price increase. We know that prices change impact our community, and are careful. After careful evaluation, we found this was a necessary step to ensure we can continue delivering innovation, high quality gaming experience to players worldwide. What high quality gaming experience? You guys release like one or two games a year. What high quality? And by the way, you release the same fucking genre, just third person games. The updated recommendation retail price for the PlayStation 5 consoles are starting April 2nd, so it's going to start next week. For all the territories, please check your local retailer. But yeah, Sony, innovation? I'm sorry, like 100 over here. What innovation and high quality gaming experience are you fucking delivering this generation? What? Just a bunch of remakes? It's not innovative to remake a Souls like. There are fucking million Souls likes out there. You know, excuse me. Ponies. I was going to get an Xbox, but the price increase turned me away. Yeah, those are the same people that were going to buy the Xbox One for what's that game? Scalebound. Those are the same people. Those are the same people, Rain. But yeah, but back on topic here, man. What innovation and high quality gaming experience, man? Their first party games have been nothing but just the same old third person game, um, pretty graphics, shallow gameplay, so that reviewers like Colin Moriarty and all them at IGN could play this shit for 10 hours and give it a 10 out of 10 and never touch it again. And the casual gamers, which is most of the PlayStation 5 owners, never buy this shit. All right, How is Wolverine innovative? It's a superhero game. And by the way, I love my superhero games. But it's a superhero third person game. Okay? It's not gonna be the Batman Arkham of Wolverine. Hell, I don't even think the gameplay is gonna be as fast, furious, and bloody as Wolverine or X-Men Origins Wolverine back on the 360. And that was a great game, by the way. Great hack and slash game. I guarantee you that this Wolverine game is gonna be another slow paced, long cutscene ass, quasi open world, maybe, or maybe it'll be more linear like Uncharted. Who knows? Third person game where you press what's the X? I think it's you press X. I'm sorry, no, you press square for weak attacks. You press Y or whatever the button for Y is for strong attacks. All right, that's how the game is. It's gonna be the same shit you play on every other thing. There's gonna be a Wolverine sense, even though Wolverine, it's a Wolverine sense, same way that you got Spider Sense in the Insomniac game. Yeah, that's all this shit is gonna be. There ain't nothing innovative about that. Yo, what up? Down with PlayStation 900 for a console with no games. That's right, Hundo. $900. Yeah. Go you and by the way, now look at this, man. PlayStation 5 is now $650, the same price of the X Series X. So the weaker console, same price. A weaker digital edition, $600, same price of the digital Series X. So that's weaker. There's no S version of the PlayStation 5, so the S is back. Well, the S has always been. I think the Series S is less expensive than the Switch too. So the Series S has always been the best deal in gaming. And look at this PS5 Pro for $900. So you guys, and by the way, these are the same people that for the last couple of weeks have been pretending the pisser, that's 100 call it. The Pisser 2.0, the PSSR 2.0 is better than NVIDIA's DLSS. Well, enjoy paying $900 for some decent ray tracing in your third party games and your one or two first party games a year. That's that's gonna go to PC anyway. And yeah, I'm one of those people. Until Sony says something, I don't believe for a second Sony's not releasing their games on PC anymore. But hell, that game that they released, Bungie's Marathon, mostly sold on PC, and apparently it wasn't even close compared to console. Yo, Rain said 100. Yo, yep. Faded Blade said 900. I might as well get the 2 terabyte Series X. I think the 2 terabyte is the 2 terabyte the same price or less expensive. Let's do some research real quick. Let me see, because you might be onto something there, Faded Blaze. Also, what up, Faded? Let's see, devices, Xbox consoles. All right, learn more. Oh, okay. So the 2 terabyte Series X is less it's now $100 less expensive than the PS5. And look, man, these prices, these game prices are getting out of hand, and I could get behind that if these gamers weren't so disingenuous about this stuff. All right, if these gamers weren't so disingenuous, if they kick, listen, you got to keep this fucking same energy, man. All right, all them guys, MBG, you better not downplay this shit. Colin Moriarty, what's that dude name? Greg Miller, IGN, you better not downplay this shit. I want to see Jeff Keighley out in them streets, using his, you know how Jeff Keighley is. Whenever he does Xbox news and is negative, how he puts a little extra oomph into it. I want to see that shit from them. All right, you guys talk about this fucking $900 consoles. By the way, what's the PlayStation Portal is now $250. All right, a remote player. You could do remote play on your phone. You don't need, you could do remote play on your tablet. You don't need a fucking $250 device to do remote play or cloud play. Just because it have the fucking PlayStation branding on it. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Red said, remember, Series X sometimes outperforms the PS5 Pro, like in Metal Gear Solid Delta, Space Marines 2, The Outer Worlds 2. Yup. Yo, listen, Ren in chat. The Series X, I don't think the Series X has been tapped out. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's been pushed to its highest limits. I don't. You know? So that's a phenomenal console there. You know, you get 3 generations backwards compatible plus current gen games. All right, you get shit like auto HDR and all those stuff. You know, stuff. And by the way, so when the PS5 is $1,000, because the PS6 is $1,000, because the PS6 is not going to be it's not going to be less expensive than the fucking Pro, and it don't play PS or PC games as well. That's going to be a terrible selling point. And so people gonna say, "Oh, but the exclusives." I don't give a fuck that PlayStation Nintendo is gonna play some Xbox games. All right, I stopped giving a fuck after last year. All right, that's the decision they're gonna make. And if they bring back exclusives, cool. It's still every way that Xbox is gonna do things going forward, I think is a win, because we still gonna get Game Pass, the best deal in gaming. We're gonna get a next gen console that's gonna have Game Pass, all our games, 5 generations of Xbox games and PC games. So what do I care if they're if a handful of games are exclusive to Sony twice a year? Means nothing to me. Or them time exclusives, like how Dispatch is now coming to Xbox. Rain G said, only thing Sony is releasing is lawsuits. Oh my goodness. That's right. They do have a few lawsuits out there. Shout out to Emmanuel A1. He said the 2 terabyte Xbox is $800, and you are correct, sir. Yo, Black Mamba, the homie Black Mamba. Thank you for joining. Damn, this has been the worst generation in terms of pricing I've ever seen. Yeah, it is. It has been, Calvin. All shit talking aside, this is the first generation where console prices didn't go down, which is just still mind-blowing to me, Calvin. Because I remember I got my Xbox One on New Year's Eve 2015 for $300. Right? And I love that console. And it does kind of suck that there are people who's probably still gaming on Xbox One. Thought if they waited a few years, that by now they could get a Series X, where their best chance was 2023. Because people don't remember holiday 2023, the Series X was $350. I forgot how much the Series S was. I think the Series S was $200 as well. That was a great holiday season. A face Wade said, don't forget the Pro has a stand. Oh, that's right. You gotta buy, and that's something. That's another thing, Faded Blaze. I'm glad you brought that up because I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, the next Xbox won't have a disc drive," and I actually agree with that. I think the next Xbox won't have a disc drive as well. But this is one of them things where watch how if or when Xbox Helix, you got to buy the disc drive for people like me, us dinosaurs. How all of a sudden the same people who gladly pay like $80 or $90 for the PS5 Pro disc drive, are the exact same people are going to have an issue with Xbox doing it. Watch, and that's the type of stuff that makes it because we really should have the conversation Calvin brought up on how prices aren't going down anymore, but you can't when everybody's a fucking fanboy these days. Rain said, colon, going to say, Sony has to do it because Xbox did it. They're just following what the industry is doing. Hold on, Rain. I thought PlayStation was the industry leader. Wait, what do you mean they got to follow because Xbox did it? Listen, to them, Xbox is third place. Xbox is dead. That was one of the reasons why they said Xbox increased prices. Because it was dead and nobody was buying it. But that's, the spin they're going to do is going to be ridiculous, man. And that spin is happening right now. Not a single one of those outlets are going to keep that same energy. Black Mama said $900 is insane. And it's wise because that's not including the stand and the disc drive, which are sold separately. Yup. Don't come with no games. It's like you don't even have a Game Pass alternative. Because let's be real, PlayStation fans are not using are not on what's it called? PlayStation Now or PlayStation, whatever their service is called, to the same extent that we Xbox gamers are on Game Pass. Because remember, with Game Pass, 70% of Game Pass subs are on the Ultimate tier. So most of us are, well, let's be real, a lot of us aren't really paying $30 a month. We stack up. I listen, guys, I stack up too. I'm going to be stacking them again shortly because my stacking up expires this August, in August 2026. So most of us stack up. Yeah, there's still people who are doing the $30 a month thing. So you're not. Yeah, the PlayStation is almost $1,000 after. Yep, exactly. And by the way, that's not counting. And what's up, Ice Pick? And that's not counting. If you're gonna buy a game with it, if you're gonna get an extra controller, or like others said, if you're gonna get the disc drive, or if you're gonna get the stand. So if you buy literally anything with that Pro, you're paying over $1,000 after taxes. Yeah, the average person's not doing that. All right, stuff like this is why we see so many reports about how people aren't buying games anymore, and game sales are going down, and physical sales are lower than ever. The average person, listen, when Sony first did $70 a game, this was something that I felt even from then. What they were hoping is that although when you do price increases like this, you go in it expecting lesser sales, but that the higher prices will mean bigger revenue or profit based off it. But that isn't what happened. Instead, what happened was people see $70 games and they just stop buying, or if they do buy it, it's on a pretty deep discount 2 years later. Or it's on Game Pass. How many games hit Game Pass and all of a sudden they had a 150% bump in player base or something crazy like that? So that's how it is with the consoles too. That's why that's why I didn't believe all these fucking Sony ship numbers. Shipped is not sales. And Black Mamba said, all jokes aside, this is terrible. This is one of my concerns with gaming. Gamers are being priced out. What is the future? How are we going to play in terms of barrier to entry? Yeah, that exactly, Black Mamba, and that's how I feel as well. It's as much as we come here, have our fun, talk our shit. At its core, this is a symptom of a larger issue. I don't like that people or the average person is just being priced out of everything. Not everything got and look, we all know that gaming is not a necessity. It's not the equivalent of home prices or food prices or anything like that or gas prices. But still, it's a great hobby. My favorite hobby for a reason. And it really is an issue that people are being priced out to this extent. And maybe this means people keep their older consoles longer. You know, you're definitely going to see slower and slower upgrading, and with all this stuff, but something's got to give, man. Something's got to give, right? Where eventually something's going to happen, and it's going to be almost because there's a gaming crash back in the '80s. Now I don't know if there's going to be a gaming crash like that. I don't know if there's going to be a gaming crash like that anytime soon. But as we see, and we saw this at the end of the 360 era, where gaming got so expensive, we were losing publishers and developers left and right. Well, now games are even more expensive, taking longer to make, and the return on investment for in a lot of cases just isn't the same as it was. And the same is happening. Listen, the same is happening in Sony. Sony's investments aren't paying off like that. They don't really have those big multiplayer like games. Marathon's not gonna last that long. Helldivers 2 might be the only one that lasts a bit. But it's not good enough to you know what I'm saying? It's not enough to spare us with this shit. Amanda said with the disc drive, the PS5 Pro is over $1,000 after taxes. That is a complete ripoff. Yes. Yes. Cloud is the future for lower prices. I'm not 100% sure, but cloud is going to be another alternative. Cloud, Game Pass, and all that stuff are going to be alternatives. And again, games. This is the one thing though. Games do go on sale often, all the time. Really, I kid you not. Every week there's a new sale on Xbox. I'm sure the same is on Nintendo or or maybe not Nintendo. Same as on PlayStation and PC. So that part though, I think is going to be all right. You could get every few like 3, 4, 5, 6 times a year, a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be $20 on the Xbox store. Yeah, the average person is going to do that. So sales and stuff like that is also just going to be even more important than ever. I got my Xbox One at the beginning of 2024 or 2014, and I bought Red Dead Redemption, Dead Rising 3, and Rise Son of Rome. Yeah, man, those are some great games, and good time to get it. Yeah. When I bought Rise Son of Rome, that bitch was like $8, man. Good times. Just This gen now, all platforms that Nintendo has barrier to entries at $1,000 or more. Next gen is certainly going to be all platforms. And to that, Black Mamba. Well, first of all, the Series S is not a barrier to entry. It's the most affordable. The Series S is more affordable than the Switch 2. All right. So the Series S is the most affordable option of any console right now. And unlike Nintendo, you get Game Pass with it, so you could at least access games. And Nintendo, and by the way, Black Mamba, people think the Switch 2 is too expensive. And the Switch had that $80 Mario game. Let's not forget this stuff. So Nintendo, and by the way, Nintendo sales has slowed down. So Nintendo is not in the clear at all in this. And listen, don't be fooled. Nintendo's probably going to do something similar soonish as well. I want to make it clear to people: Nintendo is not exempt at all from this. The Xbox beta entry is $400 retail with Series S. Yes, and you could find these consoles cheaper at other places. There are a lot of places that you should find around your city. Well, I don't know. Not everybody lives around the city, so maybe that's a bad take by me to say something like that. And PlayStation Plus is $240 annually. Yeah, but PlayStation Plus don't have the same reputation or anything, and I don't think people use PlayStation Plus like that. Colin said the same thing about Sony charges for online and PS4. Sony has to do it because Xbox has been doing it. Ooh, man. Sony was only doing it because they were losing money at the beginning of the PS4 generation. Well, the PlayStation 4, when it first debuted, Rain, and thanks for bringing that up. Rain, PlayStation 4 at the beginning, I mean, they started that generation charging for PlayStation Online. But yeah, saying that just because Xbox is doing it is hilarious. It's more so that keeping online storefronts and stuff like that, and online services is extremely expensive and time consuming. But these people don't know anything, man. They don't ever add any context, right? They don't ever add any context to anything. So they just think shit is as simple as Xbox is doing it, so Sony will. Emmanuel, I know they said, I know, hold on, I know I said they all have near $100,000 options. Okay. Okay. Didn't see that in the original message. Okay, they talking to each other. Game trailers. So it doesn't matter what PlayStation does. The media not going to criticize it. Yeah. Listen, I would not be surprised at that. I would not be surprised at all if the media don't criticize PlayStation for it. At least not to the extent that they did Xbox. Because remember, listen, I don't suffer for short-term memory the way a lot of gamers seem to. So I remember when things happened months ago or a year ago, and how the reaction to Xbox was everybody being fake outraged about this. And I call it fake outrage because you know that they're not going to be nearly. Listen, Colin Moriarty, Destin Legary, none of them are going to be on their soapboxes preaching about how they need to support the devs and save gamers, and treat, because how Xbox is treated. Xbox is treated as if they don't use their money to save gaming, then and if they don't make business decisions, then they're terrible. But with Sony, it's more like, but how Sony needs to survive and all this bullshit. Or like Rangy said, because Xbox did it. Doomslayer, the homie Doomslayer said, honestly, how long do you think Marathon is going to last? I have no clue, man. No clue. Not a game that I play, so I don't know any of the metrics to it. Only thing I saw about Marathon was that it sold the most on PC by a large margin, Doomslayer. Shane G said, what's up, Malina? What's up, the homie Shane G? Always in the chat. Black Mama said, I understand why these companies seem to want to get rid of cheap returns altogether. If you want to raise prices, do it for that market. Oh, I don't understand. Yes, yeah, yeah. I don't understand. I both don't understand and don't like it as well. Because unlike people, and this was my thing about whenever PlayStation fans be like, but I buy my games. The truth is, man, people like sales. There's a reason why Black Friday sales is a big thing. There's a reason why Amazon does the Amazon on Prime Day, and that's always a big thing. And even though some sales are legitimately iffy in the sense that they aren't really discounts, as you know what I'm saying, there are plenty of discounts around those times that are legit as well. So people like sales, man, and people like spending $20 on a game. They like if they spend $40 and got 5 games out of it. They like to wait years. And the previous way a lot of people did was wait couple years after a generation started and got it at a cheaper price. And that's the stuff that and it's important because not every listen, we hardcore gamers are the exception, not the rule. Right? We hardcore gamers, We are the exception, not the rules. All right. The average person who only buy X amount of games a year, they'll wait for sales. They'll wait unless it's just their favorite Madden or whatever the fuck people be buying every year. Cloud ain't there yet, and we not doing that. Yeah. Cloud is just gonna be a alternative. I don't think it's gonna be a solution. I've been saying we're gonna have a crash at this point. It's only a matter of time. Yeah, I don't know how big a crash. I just don't know if a crash, if it'll be more like the 360 era, or we just lost so many publishers and developers. I don't know if it's gonna be like the 80s. I think the 83 crash. I don't know if it'll be like that, but we'll see, man. Because it is kind of reaching unsustainable. I mean, it's been unsustainable for a while, and at some point, the cookie crumbles, the Jenga tower crashes, and things like that. Calvin Pierce said, "I feel like I am being priced out. Honestly, like Mamba said, I'm not sure if I'll even get a next gen console if this keeps up, because at some point it just seems crazy to buy a console at these prices." Yes. Yep. How you feel, how Black Mamba feel is how the average person is gonna feel. I'll be on here saying, "Yo, I can't wait for the Project Helix." I'll most likely get it day one and stuff like that. But I listen. I've always been self-aware enough, Calvin, to acknowledge that I'm in the minority. I know the difference between me, the hardcore gamer, versus the average person, like others in my family, who they've got other stuff going on, and they'll game here and there. They ain't gaming every day or nothing. All right. So how you feel? How Black Mama feel? I promise you, when these next consoles are $1,000 in $1,000 range, that's how a lot of people gonna feel as well. And some might say, "Oh, but phones, people upgrade their phones on average every other year, and even then, most of them just don't buy. They do it through their carriers, at least in the U.S." PS5 Blows said, "What's up? What's up, PS5 Blows? Hey, bad day for Sony, man. You think Sony blocked Netflix from PlayStation because Game Pass? Wait, is Netflix not on PlayStation? Okay, I'm gonna have to research that good box because I don't know about this one. I'm definitely research Sony blocking Netflix from PlayStation. Barrier to entry, at least how I use it. Just hold on. Barrier to entry, at least how I use it, is just the cost to get into a platform. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's what it is, man. And the barrier to entry, yeah, I don't really like that. It just seems like an enthusiast thing at this point. And people will adjust. More people, because people going to buy the used PS5s and Series X's next generation. If this is too, if only people like me could really just jump into it. So we're going to see. We're going to see. It's going to be interesting to see. Um, you can pick up a secondhand Series S for $100 in the UK. My goodness, that's yo. What's up, Paul? Paul Metcalf. That's incredible. I'm not gonna lie. If I saw a Series S 400 in the UK, I buy it. Listen, if I'm a gamer and I saw that, I'm buying it just for the price alone. Nintendo used to be affordable console for kids, but now why would you buy a Switch over a Series S? Yeah, the only thing, people only do that because Nintendo, Mario, and all that stuff, Pokemon. But yeah, it's Nintendo's gonna be in the same boat as PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. You know, and Xbox has been brilliant with the Series S for this reason. Because listen, a lot of people don't care about power. All right, don't let people on the Digital Foundry comment section fool you. Don't let people on Twitter fool you. There are a lot of gamers who power don't mean shit to them. The only thing that matters to them is that they could play their favorite games. All right, that's it. That's the most important thing to them. So if the cheapest option, so for a lot of people, the cheapest option is the best option. Also, I know Nintendo will follow suit. That's why I said all platforms will do it soon. Shane G said, I'm sorry, these companies are not charities, and if you can't afford the game, then probably you should have your priorities somewhere else other than video games. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, Shane. This isn't a charity talk, man. On this show, we don't do the we don't act like these companies aren't companies. What we're talking about, Shane, in this case, is the consumer aspect, the consumer mindset. Yeah, this isn't a pity party stream. It's just a discussion on how what the average person would do. You know, look, these companies gonna do what they. This is why I got over Xbox putting their games on PlayStation fast, and this is why my point of this isn't really bashing the people who had that smoke for Xbox and not PlayStation. Look, multiple things can be true, Shane. These companies real aren't charities. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what Black Mamba's saying. This is what we're saying is that yeah, for the average consumer, for a lot of people, this shit just ain't gonna be worth it anymore for them. Or if it will, there's gonna be the way that they're gonna approach game is gonna be different, right? But these companies, they're gonna do what the fuck they want. Apparently, Sony was saying a month ago that they're going to, I don't know, raise prices something to avoid raising the price of consoles. It should happen anyway. All right, yeah, that's what companies do, man. They gotta get their profits in first. But just because companies gotta do that does not mean that someone like Shane G or Calvin Pierce should be like shit. I don't know if I like this. Hope you get what I'm saying, Shane. The only plus from them doing this is it will finally push me to switch to PC gaming. Hey, Paul, are you on PlayStation already? Yeah. Hey, yeah. If you look for PCs, man, it might be even a worse time right now. Unless you're going with a budget PC, it might be even a worse time for PCs right now. Cause yeah, cause listen, I was at Best Buy the other day, and it was like $800 for I think 64 gigabytes of RAM, or maybe it was the other one, 128 gigabytes. I forget which one. It ain't pretty out there right now for PC side. If you don't already have one. Red said to Shane G, people just gonna further move to Roblox, Fortnite, mobile gaming. Yeah, apparently mobile gaming's already make the most money in the game industry. Shane, these companies only exist because of us as consumers. We're not doing that. They need to do right by the consumers. They a business, but this shit is egregious. Yeah, yeah, and listen, look, man. That's why I say, Black Mama. These companies gonna do what they want, and consumers, we're going to adjust how we are. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I don't know if us specifically in the chat because we're all more the hardcore guys, but people like my cousins, I got a cousin has he has two kids. He take care of his wife. He play on his PlayStation, but he don't play on PlayStation like that. So if it becomes between taking his kids to a theme park for a weekend or buying a new game, he's gonna take his kids out. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be like that if the PlayStation 6 is $1,000 and he's like, you know what? I got my kids' school trip coming up, or I got to do this for the kids, or got to put them in the basketball practice or something. They're gonna choose that, you know. So it's almost it's just weird push and pull, right? Where on one hand, companies only exist because of the consumer, but on the other hand, when companies got to shift, because guys, let's not forget these companies are not going to lose money to appease us in most cases, especially if they're going to lose a lot of money on something, because at the end of the day, the most important people to these companies, especially publicly traded companies, are the shareholders. And I've told you this before. Back in the day, Henry Ford, when he was paying employees more, and he wanted to do that so that the competition wouldn't take up the best talent or the most employees, His shareholders fought back, literally sued him, and it was said by law that the company had to do what's best for the shareholders. And I'm paraphrasing here. And so that's why you see a lot of what we see now. Why the shareholders have so much power, because they're publicly traded company is obligated to do so. So yeah, they might be here because of us, but but you got to understand the consumer seller relationship is not one is it used to be it used to be marketed as one as almost like a partnership when really it's just business, you know. And so really we got to change our mindset to how we going to deal with business. And that's that, you know, and I hope what I said makes sense. Shane G said a Black Mamba, then stop gaming, brother. That's fine. I get way more than my money's worth. I feel like I'm stealing every month on Game Pass. No, man. No. People have valid Shane. People have valid opinions, man. You know what I'm saying? All it is just a difference in how we see things. And people will, like I said, man, people gonna adjust. People like me and you, Shane, we gonna stay on Game Pass. We gonna be hyped for the Project Helix. Others won't, and that's okay. Kenneth, yo, what up, Kenneth Williams, the Georgia Bulldogs fan? He said, "I know Jack's move Johnny and BitCloud always going to criticize Sony PlayStation. People gotta go to the pawn shop to pick up Xbox and PlayStation for original. Listen, if that's what people got to do, that's what. Look, guys, you got to do what you got to do in this world, man. You got to do what you got to do. All right, and if that means buying your console from a pawn shop, so be it. You know, so be it. You do what you got. Listen, I ain't mad at nobody for how you want a game. I ain't mad at nobody for it. You get your console from a pawn shop, man. You buy digital, you buy physical. You know what I'm saying? You be PC, you be Nintendo. Yeah, it's never been my job to tell you where to game. Now, Asha says she wants to make Game Pass cheaper by potentially bundling it with Netflix. So, bro is asking if that will happen. Oh, if that happened, will Sony block it? Probably no. Sony's not going to block Netflix because of Game Pass. It just probably won't be available on Sony. You know, that'll be the solution. But Netflix is too fucking big, man. And people use their console as media devices, not just as gaming consoles. And by the way, I do it. I tell you guys all the time. My Xbox is my main entertainment hub. And by entertainment hub, listen, if I'm not gaming, I'm also watching on YouTube, HBO Max, Netflix, Prime, you name it. Because for me, just have a controller in hand, watch my shit, and then jump to a game. That's all I need to do. I don't need to pick up a remote to go to, you know what I'm saying? Everything I just do on my console. Shane, we're not doing that. If you like paying all that money, that's on you. But you can't tell people what I feel. Yeah. That's all I was trying to say, man. I ain't mad at nobody how they want to do it, man. And to be fair, you know, in no world are day one games going to be below $30 a month, nor should they be. Day two games should be a privilege, cheaper prices devalue the games in the industry. Hold on. In no world are day one games going to be. Oh, he's talking about Game Pass. Yeah. If there's going to be a change to Game Pass, I mean, you could do the premium Game Pass. I mean, Game Pass already has cheaper tiers. So are people saying making Game Pass cheaper just for the highest tier only? That's probably not going to happen. They're probably just gonna restructure how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Since people, it's because people want to play. I don't know, man, because it does cost to get, you know, the third party games day one on there, and all this other stuff, right? Everything costs, you know, everything costs, and everything costs a lot. And this is what I'm trying to say here. You know, you gotta accept that these companies are business first, and that's why my message is that people's just gonna adjust how they spend money. Because let's be real here, man. If you like Game Pass having 75 or 100 games day one, all their first party games, and all this other stuff. That costs money. All right. And they're not going to just subsidize every fucking thing and keep losing money, losing money, losing money. That's why streaming service be going up. Because they were losing money at first to get you in, but now they gotta start making money on this shit and they have to raise prices to actually, you know what I'm saying, to actually keep this shit going. And people might hear that and say, "Oh, you're just making excuses for court." No, I'm telling you why businesses work. Listen, if every business just lost money, everything would be out of business, man. And that's the part you got to just accept. And to be fair, when I say that, I'm not like bashing nobody, and I'm not downplaying how anybody feels, man. Because I'm one of those. Listen, if there's one thing I'm kumbaya on, it's that I genuinely think everybody's opinion is valid. I genuinely think that the whole don't like don't buy mentality pisses me off. That's just an excuse to not hold these companies accountable. Again, we know they're a business. I ain't saying this shit needs to be free. He's just saying it just needs to be more affordable. I'm telling you to stop being whining clown and stop gaming. You don't speak for me and stop acting like you miserable people speak for all gamers. Most of us are extremely happy. But some of these packages just terrible for the consumer and bad business. So yeah, Black Mama and Shane having their disagreements, and that's gonna. Yo, Craig Simmons said, "What's up, Unlimited? PS is cooked, and I'm laughing my tail off." She man, look man, PlayStation ain't cooked the way you be cooking, man. I be seeing them videos, dog. You be throwing down. Man, all PlayStation gets the same amount of backlash, even more than Xbox for the price increase. But like you said, Unlimited, these fanboys don't care. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. They'll mention it, but there's it's not. Listen, you're gonna tell by the tone. There's not gonna be the same level of anger, right, that they had towards Xbox. There's gonna be no PlayStation is dead. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be none of that, man. They're just gonna mention it, and probably some of them are legitimately gonna blame Xbox. Paul said, I was on the PS5 Pro and the Series X as my main, but my PC just outplays them and have access to all the Steam exclusives. It's just cherry on top. Plus, I still get Game Pass. Okay, that's what's up, Paul. Yeah, man. Yeah. See, the way you worded your first message, I thought you're saying that you're gonna buy a PC, but you're saying that you already have one and it's pushed you there. That's what's up, man. Hey, look, man. If you want to game on PC, do it, my dude. My best friend, PC. So I already know how it works. Ironic, you tell me I don't speak for you, but you act like you speak for me and other gamers. Wake up, gang. Look at the numbers, the game reaction. Most people are not happy. Stop it. Like I said, if you're happy, do it. Be happy in game, but you don't have the right to criticize people who are voicing concern about something they don't like. Yeah, exactly. Negan said, Xbox, I'm the captain now. Yo, that's what's up. Yo, what's up, Negan? Yeah, man. Look, the PlayStation 5 is the same price as the Series X, and the Series S is cheaper than everything right now. And we're talking about for new gamers. Like, if you already own it, this don't really affect you too much. If you to game, the best price is Xbox Series X plus Game Pass plus Play Anywhere. Yeah. Y'all know I also got a pretty good PC, and Play Anywhere is dope, man. I'm liking Play Anywhere more and more. Now, I don't use my PC as much as I use my Series X, but sometimes it is nice to just put everything on ultra settings and play a game that way. But PC has little things that just annoy the fuck out of me. They're little stuff, um, but man, if Project Helix nails the console experience, like if you put in PC mode and Steam runs the way Steam does, that's cool. But I'm talking about for the Xbox game specifically. For the Project Helix, if they nail the console experience and don't put some of the shit that you gotta do with PC games, it's gonna be a home run for me. You live in a world game algorithm that's not real life. The vast majority of gamers are happy and just play games, and if they can't afford it, Gaming should be the least of their worries. Yeah. I'll say this, Shane. Yeah, the thing is that it's pretty true that if you're on Twitter or something, it really is just a bubble. There is a gaming bubble. Um, but I don't discredit people, and for some people, it's not even about. It's not really about an affordable issue. It's just that people don't want to. You don't. The same way you like Game Pass, Shane, because you get like 500 games, everything day one and stuff. That's what people like. You know what I'm saying? Look, I buy a lot of games, as you can see on my channel. I got unboxing videos, collection videos, and even in my case, most of my games are bought used, are on sale, right? And that's what people are talking about here. Xbox partner previews, and then Sony came out with this. Yep. And by the way, we're about to jump to the partner preview in a minute. Epic Games and Sony are smoking some good stuff. Hey man, it happens, man. Companies go up and Sony just go straight down, really. But did you see Epic Games? They're saying something about people aren't playing. What happened with Epic Games? I know there was something dealing with Fortnite, and they laid a bunch of people off. How do you feel about gamers selling their booty for PS5 Pro? Well, that's a little too far for me, man. Video games ain't that damn important. Look, I'll just play my old shit. If it ever comes to selling myself for a PlayStation, I'll just play my old shit, man. I don't need games that bad. Also, what's up, Cygnus? How's your game room coming along? By the way, can't wait to see it. Oh, it's coming. It's slowly coming along, man. My game room is a pretty small room, and so the issue I'm having is just finding out the layout I want to do with how I'm going to display games and stuff. So yeah, it's coming along, and I'm also going to get a little case to showcase my collector's editions. You know, I got a couple statues and stuff. Nah, bro, it's you that live in the weird gaming gathering room. It's literally facts. A lot of people are not okay with this stuff. Xbox is selling their games on all platforms to make money. That's how Game Pass exists. Yep. And look, man, I got over that shit fast, Negan. I do not give a fuck that Fable's going to the PlayStation. That does not affect me in any way. Some people that how are you not affected? Because I can still play the game. And hell, I'll play it on Game Pass if I want, and not pay anything extra for it. I'll still be playing the fucking game. That's the most important thing to me by far. Xbox and Netflix having talks to do some deal, gathering revenue, access multiple channels, not just games. Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely going to research that more after the show. Because y'all in the chat are the first who brought it up to me. 2027 is a huge year for Xbox because it's 10-year anniversary of Game Pass. That's why you saw a lot of games slated for 2027 in the Xbox preview show. Okay, that's right. It has been 10 years. Wow, time flies. I feel like PC is the future, which is cool, but they need at least options for easy use and affordable pre-built PCs. Yeah. You could get pre-built PCs. Even those are getting pretty pricey now, and you probably won't find one under $1,000 realistically. At least from what I've saw. But hey, I just want to run mods on Xbox. You'll be able to do that on Helix, Black Mamba. How I use Game Pass is this. I have Ultimate for when I'm playing day one big releases. Then I release it to premium. I reduce it to premium when I'm not playing those big titles. Yo! I never heard of somebody doing that, Negan. That's what's up. Yo, gaming since the 80s, man, I'm good, brother. I'm good. PlayStation needs to change their slogan from "Let's play" to "Let's pay." yeah. Listen, as you see the thumbnail I used for this video, pay has no limits. I saw that online and I was dying, man. Gaming since the 80s. I'm on the other side of the fence. I want Xbox first party games staying on Xbox, not PlayStation or any other console. Xbox ecosystem. Hey, look, man. If that's gonna happen, then don't. If Xbox does that gaming since the '80s, then you will have to accept less games being made, or games won't be. You won't get anything like a Starfield or something graphically like Hellblade or Fable. You'll have to deal with something with the smaller games, because gaming is just too expensive to produce, man. It's just not. We gotta and when I say this stuff, it's not to disparage what you're saying, gaming since the '80s, but I'm just realistic about shit, man. And if a game is going to cost $200 million to make a AAA game, and that's what people want, because last generation they shitted on games like Cuphead, State of K2, these non AAA games Xbox was putting out, Recore. And since people seem to just want AAA games, you're going to have to accept either A, they're not going to be pushed to the limit, or B, they're going to have to find a way to make money elsewhere. So that means, all right, let's keep them exclusive. Well, then Fable's going to be $90 instead of 70, and people already feel like $70 is a lot for a game. Forza and all that stuff. The Coco Fiend, the homie Coco Fiend. What's up, man? What's up? Hope you're doing good, Coco Fiend. Astra is also trying to reduce the price in Game Pass. Xbox is playing the long game, not just the console sales to stay alive. Yep. Oh, that's a good point about Asha. By the way, we're so early in Asha's reign at Xbox that we got to give her time to pull off what she's trying to do. We gotta give her time. The only thing that kept me away from maining PC was keyboard and mouse, but now I'm used to it and love it. It's just to me a while, especially playing FPS games. That's what's up, man. I'm glad to hear that you adjusted to it. Sony, when they need money, always think, let's sell consoles. Let's increase the price and sell consoles. Yeah. I mean, what other option do they have, Megan? They don't have games that bring in a huge return on investment that has extra income post release, like Call of Duty, or like when Halo Infinite released and everybody bought them cat airs. They don't have stuff like that. My problem with multi-plat strategy is for Xbox isn't necessarily that they're doing it. I'm not a fan. My problem is that they're the only ones doing it, which hasn't done any good. Yeah. I mean, Nintendo and Sony, they're gonna be stubborn about it. But again, this is where I tell people, um, the business aspect is just not gonna always be it's not gonna always be friendly to what you want. Um, and so and so and I think another thing is that so much was invested in Activision. I think after they got Activision, that really did change a lot of their mindset on monetization and making money and everything like that. But that's just a theory. Maybe this shit would have just happened even regardless of it. I don't know. Don't work for Microsoft, so I can't speak definitively on changes. I just know that I tend to adjust. I'm one of those people, Black Mamba, where I'll adjust to what they're doing because I can't do nothing about it. Yes, you can use controller on PC, but I think a lot of people use keyboard and mouse. The problem I see with Asha is she isn't even a gamer. That doesn't feel with me at all. Oh, that doesn't matter to me, man. Um, Steve Jobs never sold a phone before the iPhone took off. You know what I'm saying? You don't. She just gotta. As long as she learns. She learns. She does the mix of growing Xbox, making money for Xbox, and listening to the consumer base. She'll be all right. Imagine when your business is literally dependent on console sales. Yeah, and the thing about console sales is that they notoriously don't make money till the end of the generation. CEO is not a position you get by being a gamer. It's how you can make business profitable. Yeah, exactly, Negan. Exactly. If I could be a CEO from being a gamer, Shit, then I would have been one long ago. Hell, some of y'all game more than I do. If she is bringing money, it doesn't matter to Microsoft if she's a gamer or not. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. It ain't even about me my it ain't even about my I'd say the last 2 years they just come off as anti-competitive. I was like they gave up. That's the issue. They got to get aggressive. Well, they are stopping the "This is the Xbox" campaign, which seems to bother everybody except for me. Right? They seem to be stopping that. Like others in the chat said, they might be working on lowering the price of Game Pass. They announced the new console like a week after she took over at Xbox, and she's gonna implement more things. Black Mamba. Um, and like I said earlier, whatever Xbox does, I'm gonna adjust to it anyway. I got you listen to see how many I got so many Xbox games that there's you know there as long as I could play my games, I'm just gonna adjust anyway. But that's just me. But yeah, they're gonna implement changes. We'll see what works. We'll see what doesn't. But before I call it a day. All right. So yesterday, the Xbox Partner Preview Show. Man, oh man, oh man! I gave this show. Excuse me here. One second, guys. All right, the Xbox Preview Show. Yeah, I give this show an 8.5 out of 10. They showed a lot of really cool games. And one thing that the Xbox showcases have nailed that I really like is that they show a variety of games. You know what I'm saying? You'll see a horror game, RPG, um, Cuphead like game for the Eternal Life of Goldman. I thought the show was really good. The highlight for me was the Expanse, Osiris Reborn, and the Expanse is you know, it, it's an IP that's been around for a long time, and to see a Mass Effect like game, and boy, when I say a Mass Effect like game, that game really is Mass Effect like, man, and I'm down for it. And that game, and by the way, look at all these games here. Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass, Game. Oh wow, Stranger Than Heaven's day one on Game Pass. Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. So not only did they show about 20 games, most of them are going to be day one on Game Pass. I'm sorry, you can't get me to complain about something like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't. The chat here said, not being a gamer is one thing, having no experience in gaming industry is completely different. Not really. Like I said, Steve Jobs, when the iPhone was released, dude had zero experience in selling phones, and they revolutionized the phone industry. You know what I'm saying? It happens all the time. Sony has had heads of PlayStation. I mean, had CEOs or heads of PlayStation who didn't game or didn't know shit about gaming. It's not really as necessary as you might think. Listen, let's say that Asha does things that people like you and Black Mamba want, right? Let's say that she brings back exclusives or lower the price of Game Pass. Will you still say that you have no faith in her because she has no experience? I doubt it. You can learn and train on the job. Yeah, and she's working. By the way, they're working with a lot of people. It's not like every single person at works in gaming left or something. Besides the price thing, I'm generally looking forward to the new Xbox. I can't wait to see what they do. I have high hopes for it. And since it's a PC hybrid, the price will be more than justified. Yes, yes, yes. I'm extremely. Look, it's weird, Calvin, because on one hand, I don't think the Series X has been pushed to its limits, but on the other hand, I'm getting Project Helix. Come on, I'm getting the damn thing. A new Xbox generation. Come on. Coco Fiend said, "Yeah, I just want Xbox to be aggressive and making people respect the brand. It's too many loose lips and bias paid gaming media outlets." Yeah, apparently, and I was told by by somebody I know. Apparently, they're being more aggressive now. They're starting to call out the media more and starting to put out. Start to refute things. Something that Xbox used to be quiet on during Phil Spencer's tenure. It seems like they're starting to say more and more. For me, the complaints about Game Pass come from all tiers before having day and only one tier that's now $30. I think what they should do is have all tiers have day to day, but the library varies. Yeah, well, apparently they're working on it, working on something. So we'll see what they end up doing. We'll see what they end up doing. But but back to the partner preview showcase. Yeah. So guys, if you watched it, what was your top game here? Stranger Than Heaven, and it's from the developers who make the Yakuza game. I gotta say, Stranger Than Heaven looks better than any Yakuza game. And now I'm not saying that to shit on Yakuza. I'm just saying that caught me. When it comes to Yakuza series, my favorite actually the spin-off Judgment and Lost Judgment beat those games and really enjoyed them. More so than the standard Yakuza. And this looked like it could be something pretty really good. And it's day one on Game Pass, so you can't beat that. That looked good. Like I said, my number one game was The Expanse, that Mass Effect looking game, and Xbox is getting a beta for it the next month. You know, I don't really play roguelikes, but I know Hades 2 is a big deal. The Eternal Life of Goldman also looked really good. That one also looked really good, and it was clearly had that Cuphead like gameplay. And yeah, that looked really good. That looked awesome. Games like Forever Ago has their audience. Personally, not for me. But that looked like it at least going to have interesting themes. Wuthering Waves is one of those free to play games. I notoriously hate mobile games. I hate them with a passion. I'm not a negative dude, but I am towards the mobile games. But I know that's a big deal, so that's cool. It's come to Xbox. Hunter the Reckoning Death Wish looks cool. Um, so yeah, the partner. Oh man, Xbox man. The partner preview showcase 8.5 out of 10. Oh, Artificial Detective. That's right, Artificial Detective. Yeah, that's like the reverse of Pragmata. where in Pragmata you got the human guy saving the little girl, and an AI girl. In Artificial Detective, you got the artificial detective saving the. I think that was a little girl. Saving the little girl, real girl, human girl. So yeah, man, 8.5 out of 10. Really good showcase. A lot of great looking games. A nice variety of games. The Expanse Osiris. That game looks so cool. I might do something I never done before and try that closed beta. You know what I'm saying? I usually just wait to the official releasing games, but man, that and Exodus and Mass Effect 5 is apparently in development. If y'all don't know, I love space-based RPGs. Mass Effect trilogy was my favorite on the 360. Y'all probably know I love Starfield. I think that's one of the best games this whole generation. Love the Outer Worlds 1 and 2. I need to beat the Outer Worlds 2. Uh, you know, I even love Mass Effect Andromeda. So yeah, I love me my space based RPGs. All right. Coco Fiend said, uh, Stranger to Heaven and Eternal Life of Goodman are definitely purchases for me. Yep. And the good news, they both are gonna be on Game Pass. So you don't even have to get them day one, Coco Fiend. But yeah, they both look good, man. They both look real good. Um, Day and date for all tiers for a month. Then remove the game from all tiers except Ultimate. That way, if people like the game, they can buy and pay for Ultimate. I think that's how it should be. Oh, that's an interesting concept. Basically, a month trial for all tiers, but it remains Ultimate only after a month. Maybe they'll do it that way. I could see something like that. Um, that is where Xbox Cloud Gaming is going to be important for Microsoft. What's up, Aaron Horton? Nigga, not a bad idea. The problem is that first month is the most critical part of game sales, so it's day date. It could harm it. I'm not a big fan of that trial shit people be doing. I mean, look, they're gonna figure something out. You know what I'm saying? And the game's already day one on Game Pass, so I'm not really sure um how that'll affect it since it's already tied to subscription. Games are not free. They have to make back their investment. A month trial is enough for all tiers, and Ultimate get it only after that. Yeah, yeah, that's an excellent point. Yeah, that's an excellent point there, Negan. But with that said, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna go ahead and get going. Thank you for joining on this episode of the Unlimited Hangout. Um, Xbox is gonna be fine. PlayStation is now more expensive than ever, and PlayStation don't have the Game Pass equivalent. You know what I'm saying? So they really screwed. But yeah, everything Xbox man, Xbox excellent show. Well, a really good show yesterday. 8.5, like I said, a lot of great unique games. Next generation is a year away. And it was amazing hanging with you guys, conversing with you guys, and everything. You guys have a great weekend, and I am out.